Hi everybody, welcome to Call of Duty's Warzone, and just a quick video today about something you may want to think about in terms of having a special loadout for those situations where you're parachuting into the final circles towards either a free supply drop, or maybe even your teammates have called in a supply drop, but there isn't enough time to get enough ammunition to see you through to the end of the game. And this can happen quite a lot, actually. You know, when you die as you're approaching the final circles, you get that final, the Gulag closes, and while Gulag closes while you're in the Gulag, you win your Gulag fight. Then you're parachuting in, and you'll see your final supply drop, because you get two, don't you? You get one just before the first circle closes, and you get another one that appears after the Gulag shuts. And it'll be sitting there in the circle, and you'll be parachuting in with your pistol thinking, I've got to get to that supply drop. You get to it, you get out your loadout, but lo and behold, you've only got 50 bullets. So if you've got an extended mag. If you don't have an extended mag in your class, maybe you've only got 30 bullets. And that puts you at a real disadvantage going into the final circle. So, as you can see, I have a loadout called Last Stand, which is, if I'm parachuting into the game in those final circles, and I get the opportunity to get to a loadout drop, this is the one I will pick. And the reason for that is it's my favourite gun at the moment, which is the GRAU. But this is the difference. I've put the fully loaded perk on it, and if you haven't got a gun that's got fully loaded on it yet as your favourite gun, pick one that does, because the fully loaded perk means that when you swap to this loadout, you will have a full reserve of ammo for that gun. So is it 250 rounds, I think, or something crazy, which is more than enough to see you through to for the rest of the game. Now, there is a very strong argument, actually, for also having the fully loaded perk on your class anyway, because it will mean that if you pick up an early supply drop, you'll always, you'll have full ammo, and if you come across another supply drop and you're low on ammo, you just pick up the same class again with the same gun, and then you'll be back up to full ammo. So that means that with this perk, I'll parachute in, I'll grab this, and I'll have enough ammo to see me through to the end of the game if I'm that lucky. Now, obviously, it does mean you do have to sacrifice something. So you may well want to do some experimenting with your gun setup, because, for example, I would often, and still do, use something like the Void Grip on the GRAU, or the Stipple Grip on some of my other guns to give you a faster ADS and a faster sprint out time. But I've tended to find that in Warzone that isn't quite as critical as it is in ordinary multiplayer, so I would rather sacrifice that and have fully loaded. And in fact, what I've decided to do is, on my normal GRAU setup, well, basically it's the same really, I've got the fully loaded perk on it as well, because I like that extra stability of not having that hollow grip gives me. Now, there is also another option that you might want to play around with, and this is using a secondary weapon as your ammo reserve. Okay, so let's say, right, for example, I really like the GRAU. Okay, and the setup, I like it. I really like it like that. And I'd always recommend having your Last Stand gun should be really almost exactly the same as the normal gun you have, because you want to be familiar with it. In the last circle, you don't want to have a gun that you might not be quite as accurate with or as fast with as the other guns. So let's say I really like this. I think, well, okay, so how do I get a full reserve of ammo? So the way that you could get a full reserve of ammo is, unfortunately, you have to sacrifice one of your perks. Now, my favourite perks of Warzone at the moment are Cold-Blooded, because that keeps me off thermal sights. They can still see you, but then you're not as obvious. Ghost, to keep me off UAVs and heartbeat sensors. And Amped, so I can switch to my rocket launcher really quick and back again. But if we switch to Overkill, like this, okay, and then as our secondary weapon, we choose, say, something like the M4A1, and then we would probably do something like, first thing you need to do is you need to put fully loaded on it. So this means that when you pick up this loadout, you'll have a full reserve backup for the M4A1. Well, the M4A1 and the GRAU use the same ammunition. In fact, in Warzone, all of the assault rifles and all of the LMGs use the same ammunition, so it doesn't have to be an M41, it could be an LMG if you want. But I would recommend, if you want to go with this sort of setup, I would do something like this. I would put the SOCOM 10 round mag on it. I would probably put the M16. I would probably put something like the tactical suppressor. Maybe, I know this is my mate Andy's, he likes this sort of setup. Maybe something like that. In fact, so that gives you, so if we come out of that, so what we've got now is we've got our GRAU 556 but set up exactly like we want it, and then when we pick up that loadout drop, we'll have a secondary that is a decent, a long range secondary with those. I mean, if you haven't given the M16 a go with the SOCOM rounds, I'd definitely say give it a go, because it makes it into a beast at long range. They're very, very powerful, those bullets, and they take people down very, very quickly. The M16 Grenadier gives you extra range, extra muzzle velocity, and then a suppressor to keep you off the radar. The ADS is going to be pretty slow, and you're going to get glint from the sniper scope, but enables you to engage people. And again, that fully loaded perk means that not only your M4 will have full ammo, but that will mean that your GRAU 556 will have full ammunition as well. But as I say, we're sacrificing Ghost, but I know not everybody is completely dedicated to Ghost, and there we go. Now obviously, if you do this one, don't choose your secondary as a sniper, because that is rifle, and obviously if you're using an SMG as your favourite weapon, say you really like the MP7 or the MP5, then you're gonna have to have an SMG. So the beauty with the assault rifles is that they give you that, assault rifle can be very SMG like, and it can be very DMR like and almost sniper like as well. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some ideas about how you can have, that special weapon class setup that you only bring out when you're going for that last free supply drop, because you need to have, that that perk of fully loaded, so you get a full reserve of ammo to go into the final circles. Anyway, that's enough from me. Hopefully that's useful, and I'll see you again soon.